Hello. Should you start playing MapleStory in 2026? I think the answer is yes. Why? Because it's super flexible in playstyles, it's a stable long-term game, and it's fun. So let's specify first which MapleStory we're talking about. We're talking about modern MapleStory on the Reboot servers. Reboot is a server type where there is no trading, limited trading amongst your own characters, and it's not pay to win. And I'm gonna put a medium-sized asterisk on that. Okay? Okay? So why should you start playing? Reason number 1. Flexible in playstyles. Usually on games you might feel like you need to match a particular workflow, else you'll feel kind of punished or FOMO-y. MapleStory has been able to tweak this pretty well so that it rewards all kinds of playstyles. You can be a player who only has a few minutes a day to play, or someone who plays 18 hours a day. You can be someone who hyper-focuses on one character, or a player who evenly plays out many. You can be someone who does some relaxed grinding, or some cortisol-filled multiplayer bossing. And it's a game where it doesn't punish you for taking extended breaks or switching playstyles around. Reason number 2. MapleStory is a long-term stable game. For those familiar with MMOs, we all know how often they get shut down, or lose their player base, or abandon development. MapleStory has survived for over 20 years and it still gets constant updates to keep up with current metas, player expectations, and there's still a ton of new content coming out. Reason number 3. Because it's fun. I guess this is just my opinion amongst many others trapped in this game, but I do think the game is fun. The sense of progress is proportionate with the amount of effort you want to put in, and I find it super satisfying to hit milestones. There's always a lot of events going on, quality of life updates to enjoy, and challenges to take part in. So those are the reasons why I think MapleStory is at least worth trying in 2026. Now you can continue to tune in to hear some other stuff about the game. Let's talk about the pay-to-win part. Depending on your definition, this game may or may not be pay-to-win. If your definition is any amount of spending giving any convenience or advantage, then yes, it's probably pay-to-win. But to me, pay-to-win is when there is unlimited spending options to directly make your player stronger, and where it's unrealistic or impossible for free players to keep up. Reboot isn't like that. The spending does have a ceiling, and the advantage is usually higher experience rates or being a flat percentage stronger, but for a 30-day duration only. So I do think, or free players can still keep up or even still be stronger. The other elephant in the room is vac pets. This is a high convenience item, but I like to think it won't be too relevant to most of you watching this video, since chances are you guys aren't planning to do this for 2 hours a day. Essentially, the vac pet vacuums your items to you, in contrast to the standard pet that kind of just walks around a little bit. It's pretty expensive at $100 up front and $14 a month after that. It's basically an entire video game purchase and subscription. For the more hardcore players, it would kind of feel like a requirement, but I would encourage you not to worry too much about it as a starting player. Let's talk about Nexon, the company behind Maple. If you ask the seasoned MapleStory player what they think about Nexon, they would probably say something like this.
Holy crap, it's the worst game company to exist. Really, there's zero communication ever. They never test their patches, so the game is buggy as hell every patch. There's bots everywhere. It's clear they don't give two craps about this game. All they care about is next quarter's profits.
And this is true. I don't really have much to add to this. Now let's talk about the history of MapleStory. MapleStory is a Korean game with other regional versions online. These other regions depend on the original Korean game for their updates. Sometimes these other regions do get ambitious and develop their own content. While a lot of them can be cool, they usually end up bugging the hell out of the game and often get deprecated. It used to be a completely pay-to-win game where you just shovel out thousands of dollars to create the perfect gear. That still does exist in the form of interactive servers. Eventually they came out with Reboot, a server type where players can get far in the game without spending any money. Unfortunately for the main Korean branch, the pay-to-win players didn't like seeing the free players having fun, so they demanded the Reboot servers be shut down. And so they did. And the other regions followed. Except for the global region. The problem for Nexon NA is a majority of the players are on Reboot. Shutting down Reboot would mean losing most of their player base and all their money that they spend on cosmetics. And they spend a lot on cosmetics. So the GMS team declared that they are dedicated to keeping and updating Reboot. Will the GMS team put enough funding into the development of Reboot to continue its survival? Who knows? But things seem pretty good so far. Thanks for watching this video. This is my first video involving editing, so I hope it didn't sound too weird. I had a lot of fun making this video, and I hope it helps. Thanks for watching. Bye!